Good morning to all of you beautiful souls out there. It is Monday morning. I've had an amazing weekend. I'm getting ready to go to work. Friday, I ended up working for this guy. I know since my boss decided he didn't want to work, it worked out really well. And Saturday, took the entire day off from working manually, spent all that time working on my computer, gaming, recording, live streaming, enjoying life, hanging out with good people. Yesterday I had church yesterday morning. I went to the Hope Center first thing, had a Bible study, and then went on to church for a church service. Had an amazing sermon. Pastor Brock is pretty awesome. And then I had a pretty busy afternoon. I ended up working for about 4.5 hours yesterday, gutting a trailer. I had a great time. The guy I was working for is extremely impressed with my work ethic, and I'm so thankful for that. And today, like I said, it's Monday morning. I'm thankful that God woke me up, put breath in my lungs, and has given me another opportunity to do well. And speaking of doing well, I believe you always reap what you sow. And I, I always understood that, but I never took it to heart, in my younger days. But the last several months, as I've been growing in this journey of mine, this spiritual journey, I have learned how important that is. You reap what you sow. Always sowing good in this life will have that ripple effect of you reaping good in this life. Guys, I'm getting ready to head off to work, finishing up my coffee, getting everything together. I will catch up with you later. Another day of work in the books. Another blessing received. I'm telling you guys, I'm so thankful. And like I was telling you guys this morning, you reap what you sow, and I'm trying to do my best to sow goodness every single day. And even if I have to stand up for myself for something that I feel is wrong, and then have a slight concern, or maybe even I could say a fear of repercussions, the other person not liking it or one other person in the group not liking it, then it's okay. I'm still going to stand up for what I believe is right. For example, and this is what really made me think about it today, other instances has happened, that I can think of a little bit right now, but today, right now, I'm thinking, well, the boss man had my time. I gave him my time for 6.5 hours today, and he was only going to pay us for 4 hours. And not I internally was not okay with that. So before he dropped me off, I was like, "Hey, man, we getting paid for 5 hours today?" He's like, "Well, you guys only worked 4 hours, but I'll pay you for 5." And I don't know if he thought he was doing me a favor, but I sure as heck wasn't going to be happy with giving him 2.5 hours of my time to him for free. Now, I can understand maybe an hour and 15 in total, just counting drive time to the site and back. But he had my time, an hour and 20 minutes actually, of my time for free while he ran and did what he needed to do, and we sat in his truck. And I thought to myself, man, is this gonna go the way I want it to, or is it gonna go a way where I'm gonna get angry and maybe have a confrontation or something with the guy? And thankfully, when I said that, he's like, "Yeah, you know what? I'll pay you guys for 5 hours," and that's even an hour and a half, of the drive time or whatever that I'm not getting paid for. I can't be mad about that. Like I said, drive time we usually don't get paid for anyways. And even though the math doesn't exactly math up correctly, I'm glad I got that extra hour paid, because it was my time that I was giving to him when he didn't need me, and I could have been doing something else, like recording this video, for example, or finally getting a load of laundry started at the laundromat. That's right, guys. Over 2 weeks being in this apartment room, and I haven't done any laundry. Uh, One day I was putting it off, the next day I was ready to do it, but it rained all day and I wasn't trying to take my clothes to the laundromat, walking in the rain, even with an umbrella over my head. I just wasn't about that. So, but today, finally, got my laundry in the wash. I'll be heading back up there shortly to check on it. But all in all, it's been a great day. I've got a friend coming over for a little while, hanging out. I'm gonna go do a little bit of grocery shopping, cook up some dinner, hang out for a little while, and then I'm gonna be live streaming on Twitch on my gaming channel, guys. If you're interested in that, you guys can check it out sometime. I'm not gonna push for you guys to do it because they're two different channels, two different styles, two different things entirely, and it's more of a hobby, something that I enjoy doing. And not just streaming, but playing games in general, recording it for my gaming channel on YouTube. And I do get interactions and stuff like that, engagements on that channel. And I'm so thankful to have the ability to do that now. And I want to thank you all for watching my content and supporting me along my journey, even though things have taken a shift. And yeah, I'm still out here grinding every day, guys. I'm putting in work here, putting in work there, spending time with the Lord, spending more and more time talking to the Lord in my head, and reading the Bible. But yeah, we'll see about picking up first thing in the morning, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the morning. Another great morning, guys. I am all ready for work. And the thing is the last 2 days I've been playing in the mud, doing piping, digging up the ground, laying fresh pipe, and it's been a pretty good couple of days. And I'm wearing, for third day in a row, I'm wearing the same clothes I wore to do those jobs, and I got mud all over, but I don't care. You guys ever like wear your same clothes multiple days in a row? I mean, they're getting dirty. They're work clothes anyways. And you ever wear your clothes multiple days in a row just to cut down on laundry build up, to cut down on the amount of clothes you get dirty, the muddy and nastiness and the cleanup and everything? When I was living in my tent, I would constantly wear the same clothes every single day, primarily because I couldn't get to the laundromat often to do my clothes, to wash my clothes. And it's kind of become normal to me to do that. So let me know, guys, in the comments below if you guys do that same thing. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys will wear your same lounge clothes multiple days in a row. Your clothes that you wear around the house, your shorts, your comfy clothes, whatever. I definitely do that. I'll wear them for a couple of weeks depending on if I get any dirt or anything on them. But I'm excited, guys. Today is Wednesday. The boss has something else planned for us today. We're going to be doing more cutting down trees. That's right. We got 2 or 3 spots we got to hit today, cut down trees. And I'm hoping we can get more hours, because Monday and Tuesday, we only got 5 hours a day. And I asked him yesterday if today was going to be a longer day. He said he wasn't sure. But good news is I talked to the other guy I was working for. So if my day is short, I can hit him up, see what he's doing, and most likely be able to do, 2 to 3 hours, 4 hours maybe, depending on how soon I get home in the afternoon. And I'll be able to go work with him for a little bit to make up a little bit extra money. So I'm thankful for that. So guys, my boss is going to be here shortly. Take a peek out here. He's not here yet. But anyways, I'll catch up with you guys later. Well, today has been been absolutely amazing. So was yesterday, but both of them really long days. I mean, yesterday we got 8 hours and today we got 8.5. And it's not really long hour wise, but yesterday we spent all day cutting trees down, clearing out bush, and burning a bunch of the trees. And it was a very tiring day. And today we laid about 3/8 of a mile long of barbed wire fencing, 5 strands. So it was a quarter of a mile and a half a quarter. So it's roughly about 3/8. And it was all through the mud today, just tromping through the mud. And I mean, we didn't sink up to our knees, thankfully, but very tiring day. That's why I didn't record anything yesterday. And yesterday morning, well, the last few days I've been having a kind of a hard time with stuff, managing my time, staying up late with a friend of mine that we've started getting close, a girl, yeah, and we started getting close and hanging out, and it's really been conflicting with what I have going on, so that's a big hindrance to me. But I think moving forward, I'm gonna separate myself a little bit more from her and focus. Really, I haven't really lost a lot of traction, but I've lost enough to realize that I don't want to continue to lose traction. So I'm gonna do what I can to not continue to lose traction, because I want to continue to provide videos for you guys, even though there might be not many of you guys watching out there. But if you are watching, if you are enjoying my content, do me a favor, smash that like button for me, drop a comment down in the section below, let me know what y'all think and if you got something from my content, because I really want to vibe with you guys. I really want to create content that people enjoy, but I'm also not looking to get clicks. I'm not clickbaiting people. I don't want to just drive my channel through the roof by lying about stuff and not being authentic. I'm an authentic person, and I don't like to lie and make stuff up. I don't want to be fake. I want my following to grow based off of my authenticity. And it is challenging sometimes, very challenging sometimes, to come up with stuff to talk about. And this is my daily vlog. I mean, maybe not every single day. Sometimes I might skip some days. But generally speaking, it's my vlog, and I do my best to do it every day. And I've been doing really good with it, with managing my time with everything. But I'm also trying to pick up more work. Like when I'm not working with my boss, I'm trying to work with this other guy to try to get that income coming in as well, because I'm not making a living off of YouTube or any other platform. At least not yet. Maybe with your guys' help, I will eventually, start getting a little bit of an income, and I would really appreciate the support in that way. But you guys have supported me in so many other ways. And I know if you're new here, my name is Cam. This is Cam Survives, and it's a daily vlog for the most part. Like I said, sometimes I skip a little bit, but I am excited to announce I finally got my gaming chair. Here, check this out. Get my bag and stuff off of it. This is my gaming chair. Finally got it. I don't know if that's going to be lined up in the camera shot or not, but yeah, the arms go up and down. I got a headrest here. It's kind of nice, and I haven't checked it out yet. I haven't put it to use yet, but I'm going to be streaming on my gaming channel tonight. So I'll be using it tonight, trying it out for the first time, and I'm looking forward to that. And another thing is I haven't streamed all week, and today's Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday I haven't streamed. So tonight I'm excited. I'm gonna get in there, and I'm getting a little jacked up on Mountain Dew, something that I don't drink very often. I'm gonna get my shower. I'm gonna get the computer up and going, and I'm gonna be sipping on some Mountain Dew and getting excited to play some game. And before long, I will be working in streaming my Cam Survives channel. I will be streaming that as well on YouTube and or Twitch. And possibly TikTok. But it's some things that I still have to line up, so you guys keep an eye out, keep an ear out. I'll keep you updated along the way. But yeah, I'm so excited. I might not be working with my boss tomorrow because he said there's a high probability of rain coming in. So if that happens, then I'll be working with the other guy, hopefully, if he's got work for me. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for right now. I'm going to go get my shower, get cleaned up, get all this dirt and stuff off me, feel a little cleaner. I will pick back up perhaps tomorrow morning. We'll see you there. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm coming to you guys. It is 10 minutes after 6 a.m. Friday morning. I've been awake since 5:30. Still trying to wake up, but I woke up on my own without an alarm this morning. I actually slept on my couch last night, and that was the second night in a row that I slept on my couch. But I am thankful the Lord woke me up without an alarm. And I am also so thankful that God woke me up. You know, I'm here because of Jesus Christ, my Savior. And sometimes with dealing with things in life on a day-to-day basis, it can be challenging to remember that God, Jesus Christ, died on the cross for our sins, for my sins, and to be mindful of that and to be thankful. And when things tend to not go a certain way, you know, say my way, if things don't go my way or good at all, and there's bumps in the road, so to speak, I have to remind myself that it's just the way it is, that I shouldn't get angry, that I should not retaliate, that I should not harbor any negative energy. And I've been doing really well with that. But sometimes it's hard though. And I almost let it slip out yesterday. I'm not going to go into details about it, but I'll just say that I wasn't happy with the choices that the guy I was working with was making. And not to say he's a bad person, but he was making bad choices on how to do the job. And it put me in a position where it wore me out because the way we did it was a harder way of doing it than another way that we could have done it that I thought about doing, but he chose to do it a different way and I went with it. I think more so just to show him that it wasn't a good way to do it without telling him it wasn't a good way. So he became aware of it without me having to say anything about it, really. But I mean, we have to understand that life is going to throw curveballs at us, and we simply have to accept it, acknowledge it, and accept it for what it is. It is some type of lesson. Jesus Christ is always putting us where we're supposed to be, when we're supposed to be there. And it wasn't just a lesson for him, it was a lesson for me as well, training my patience, my forgiveness, and my understanding. And I'm very thankful for that. And I've always said I'm thankful for the lessons that I receive. You know, the lessons and the blessings. And a matter of fact, blessings. One blessing is this chair right here. I know I called it my gaming chair, but that's because that's what I'm going to be doing in it most of the time. But it is, yeah, my computer chair. My boss finally brought it to me. I paid him $10 for it. We got it, picked it up clearing out a house, and he wanted to keep it for himself. But found out that it wasn't a good fit for him. So he sold it to me for $10, and I'm very thankful for it. And I was able to use it last night. Excuse me. I was able to use it last night while I streamed for an hour and a half on Twitch for my gaming, my gaming side of things, and I'm very thankful for this chair. This chair is a huge upgrade from that little stool, a fold-up stool that I was using, and we got a back to it. We got a headrest, and it fits at the desk nicely. To me, that is huge. And I was able to get more work done more comfortably. And, I was able to rest my arms and use my keyboard and my mouse, which I have a weighted mouse, a speed ball, speed mouse. This thing right here. It's got a little ball right here. You don't move this around. You just hold it still. And then it works really well. And I was able to use the armrest and be able to support my arms while I was playing. It made it a lot more comfortable to play. And, guys, I'm here. I'm tired this morning because of how long of a day we had yesterday. And when I got home, I ended up eating 2 thick bologna sandwiches with some lettuce, some pickled mayonnaise, and mustard with some pepper on it. And then I ate a lot of ice cream, which, if I have ice cream in the house, most of the time I can't help myself. I eat it. I eat a lot of it. It's so good, and it's not even ice cream. It's called frozen dairy dessert, which has got to be worse than ice cream, I'd imagine. All that frozen dairy, right? But yeah, I'm excited because today we are working. My boss and I talked last night. He's going to pick us up around 8, which is a little later than normal. Maybe he's thinking it's going to rain first thing. Trying to wait that out. I don't really know. He may even just get a hold of me around that time and be like, hey, look, we aren't going to work. And then by that time, maybe I can get a hold of my buddy over here, see if he has work for me, see if he could use my help, and be able to work with him. If not, if I end up being off all day today, then to me, that's a perfect opportunity to put in work on my computer, focus on other aspects of my life, and probably read the Bible for a little while, because I haven't read the Bible all week, and I barely even listened to my Bible on my phone. And that's not necessarily true. Wednesday night, I did go to Bible study from 6 to 7, but we only studied a couple of verses. We read through a little bit of John. I think it was John 12, talking about Mary bringing a bottle of perfume, washing Jesus's feet with her tears and wiping it with her hair. We went into details about that and talking about it. I think it was in Matthew, one of the verses in Matthew, that happened as well. Not exactly the same thing that happened, but very similar. And we talked about that, and we didn't really go into, like, I didn't really get much from it. I mean, we talked a lot. We talked about just different stuff for about 30 minutes of that hour. And then we read the verses and went over that for the other half, the other half an hour. And it was really good, though. I really enjoyed it. It's getting me out of my shell and talking about stuff more. And it actually related to some of the stuff that I already knew, that I had learned about. Because a couple of weeks back, I sat here on the TV. Actually, it was when I was still in the hotel room. I was watching it on the TV, It was the Gospel of John, and it was a 3-hour movie, and it talked about all that stuff. We talked about a bunch of stuff, and some of what we were talking about on Wednesday is stuff that was in there. So I had learned a little bit of stuff about John the Baptist, and if I'm not mistaken, it is John the Baptist. About that stuff while I watched that movie, and then when we talked about it on Wednesday, I was able to talk, bring up these different points because I had learned that. So to me, that made me feel really good to know that I knew a little bit about what they were talking about, and I was able to conversate with them a little bit about it instead of just staring at them and listening. It was really nice to be able to do that. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's like a sense of being a part of something, or more so of learning about Jesus Christ and what he went through and the stuff that he did. But it felt really, really nice to be able to talk about that stuff with people. And I mean, I the other stuff that we were talking about too, I knew about, but I wasn't trying to take the attention of the room the entire night. So I listened a lot, and even still, I learned more, because there's so much to learn from the Bible and the teachings of the gospel of Jesus Christ and the stuff that he went through. The fact that he brought Lazarus, the sister of Mary, or the brother of Mary, back to life after 4 days, and she was concerned that he was going to be rotting and nasty and fleshy, all nasty. And he said to remove the barrier to his tomb, to his grave. And lo and behold, he came walking out, with the bandages wrapped all around him, mummified kind of thing. And then Jesus spoke. I can't remember who he said it to, but he said to take his wrappings off. And lo and behold, Lazarus was there in the flesh, alive and well. And we went on and talking about that, further on about that. And it was a really good time, and I might be rambling on about it a little bit, but it was a really, really good time. Anyways, guys, this is going to be the end of the video. This is your boy, Ambitious Cam. If you guys have enjoyed this one, smash that like button. Share this video with someone you think would enjoy it. Or you can keep it all to yourself. And maybe when you think it's time, when you think you found the right time, you can share it with somebody who might benefit from this. And this is the direction of which I'm taking the channel. It's still a day in the life type of vlog, but it's also more about talking about God and just faith in general. And I'm undenominational, non-denominational, and I don't have a religion because I think it's not to sound not to sound rude, but I don't have a belief in a certain doctrine, a certain religion. I simply follow God, and I try to be good and try to be more like him every single day, like Jesus Christ every single day. And that is my ultimate goal. And although I may struggle from time to time with those intrusive thoughts, and especially when I'm around other people that don't feel necessarily the same way I do about God and the way I should be living my life, the way they live their life is going to be a bit different. And when they start talking about certain things that I normally don't talk about, those thoughts creep into my mind, and sometimes I tend to start talking about it. Other times I kind of shun it out. I'm like, no, and I create some distance between myself and them, so I can clear my thoughts and keep guard at the door of my mind. And I've always talked about that too. needing to always guard your mind from those intrusive thoughts, those negative thoughts too, not just the intrusive thoughts, sexual thoughts and different thoughts that are not aligned with Jesus Christ. All right, guys, that's enough. This video has gotten to be quite long. We will see you in the next one. Daibosha.